This is the Fender Super-Sonic 100, which is also featured in our recent roundup of 100-watt tube heads. This amp is powered by four 6L6s, and it's got dedicated clean and overdrive channels. On the clean side, it's got this interesting Showman Bassman switch, which revoices the circuitry, gives it very much the sound of a twin or Showman in this setting, and a looser, slightly gainier and brighter tonality in the Bassman setting. It also has a front panel switch to toggle between the channels. Of course, you can do that using the supplied foot switch. And when you're over here in the burn channel, you've got two gain controls and then a complement of EQ controls, plus this notch tune knob, which is sort of a quasi-parametric mid-range filter, a volume knob, and then here's the master reverb control, which affects both channels. This is the rear panel of the Fender Super-Sonic 100 head, and it's got a lot of features here, including an automatic bias control. And basically what this lets you do is set the power tubes to run in cool, normal, or warm settings. And it really just kind of takes care of the biasing, but more importantly, allows you to run the tubes, say, cooler and extend their lifespan, or run them in the warm setting and maybe get a little hotter tone out of them, but at the expense of a little bit shorter lifespan. It does save you having to go in with a meter and readjust the biasing yourself, so it's a handy feature. There's also a couple of speaker jacks here with an impedance selector. There's a damping control, which sets how the power amp reacts with the speaker. And then you've got jacks here for power amp in, preamp out, an effects loop with both send and return level controls, and the all-important power switch. In this particular case, it's labeled Arena, which is full 100 watts, and Club, which knocks it down to 50 watts. Okay, we're going to test this Fender Super-Sonic 100 with this Buzz Feiten Signature Elite guitar. This is the fanciest model in the Feiten line, and it features a bound maple top and these very pretty fretboard inlays of abalone. Once again, it follows the similar configuration of a bridge humbucker and this neck single coil, and it has this tone switch here which converts the bridge humbucker from series wiring to parallel wiring, depending on how you've got it set. Other than that, you've still got the same format of a volume and a tone control and a three-way selector. Okay, well, this is the Fender Super-Sonic 100 on the clean channel. I've got it set here to the Showman position, so it's when I move it over to the Bassman setting, you can hear how it brightens up a little bit. And it gets a little bit louder too. There's a lot of range on this gain control, and this amp will actually get pretty distorted on this channel. Moving over to the drive setting, it really changes quite radically because we're entering into a whole different set of tone controls and front-end gain controls. So the distortion comes on a lot faster depending on how you set these two controls. Down a little bit so we're not overdriving the mic, but you can go from moderate amounts of distortion all the way up to pretty radical amounts of sustain. And this notch tune control allows you to do some tonal shaping of the mid-range. So on this side, You get more of a sucked-in mid-range response. On this side, it'll accentuate the mid-range. And depending on how you have this mid-range control set, you can really kind of play with a lot of different mid-range tonalities. So this is a useful channel. It's got a lot of gain. You can go anywhere from light bluesy kind of stuff to pretty heavy overdrive. And the reverb sounds really good on this too. I'm going to move it back to the clean setting for a moment here, just to kind of explore this reverb a bit. This is a pretty light setting, pretty typical of what you'd find setting a blackface reverb at about 2.5, but it'll get real quite swampy as you turn it up, and we'll really go into that very drippy. Pretty gushing, expansive reverb. So that's the Fender Super-Sonic 100. There's a lot of tones in this amp, and I really like the way they did this clean channel with this twin and basement setting, or actually Showman and basement setting on the head. This amp is available as a combo as well, and it's a real flexible amplifier, well suited for blues and rock players.